Larry Fitzgerald here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, let's get into your relationship with John McCain. I was so moved with what you said, and then the whole entire week, the weekend, the memorial service in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. What was the first time you met him? How did you meet Senator McCain?
I met Senator McCain in passing about 12 years ago, and I had just gotten out here, and I had heard of him. I knew he was a senator, and I knew about his story, but I hadn't really got a chance to know him. And for some reason, he just really took a liking to me, Rich. I mean, he stayed in contact with me, and we started having more dialogue, and I got a chance to sit down and break bread with him one time, and he started telling me stories about his trials and tribulations over in Vietnam, and I was kind of moved. I wanted to go see and experience everything that he went through, and so I took a trip over there dedicated primarily to see that, and then I bounced around from there. But I really wanted to learn more about him, and our relationship just continued to grow from that point on.
Well, what did you learn from him in general?
The thing I really admired about him is obviously he was a Republican, and he was a senator, and but that didn't define who he was as a man. And obviously people might not agree with some of his political views, but my relationship was not a political relationship. My relationship was based on the merit of his heart and the character that he displayed when I was in his presence, and I really just respected who he was as a man and what he stood for with his family. And obviously, you have to tip your hat to what he did in terms of his sacrifice for his country. He endured things that none of us will ever have to, and I just really admired him for that.
So, did you ever talk life issues, politics? Did you ever talk politics with him at any point, Larry?
No. He told me a couple of times that he thought I would be good in politics, and I told him there's no way I would ever do anything like that. It's impossible to get anything done nowadays. Everybody's got their own agendas. Nobody wants to work together. So I was like, no, that's not my future. I want to be sitting next to Rich one day.
You want to be sitting next on the paparazzi. He really thought you should run for office? He told you that at some point?
It was more tongue in cheek, just messing around with me. We had the type of relationship where the friendly banter and things like that. He had a wonderful sense of humor, and I really enjoyed how witty he was, and his text messages. If I didn't have a solid game, and hey, what are you doing though? You getting a little old, man. You looking like me out there right now. Saying stuff like that to me, and he had a really wonderful sense of humor.
And how were you asked? Did he personally ask you to be part of his funeral, to eulogize? Because I know he personally asked you.
Yeah, yep. It was him and his wife Cindy and Megan who were there, and they asked me to do it. So it was a tremendous honor.
Were you surprised to be asked? I mean, how did it feel to be asked? I mean, one of the all-time greats of his generation, if not all-time, politically in this country. To you, I mean, it was basically you, Joe Biden, President Obama, and President W. Bush who spoke on. In a way, Larry.
I was really taken back. Really taken back, and I talked to my dad and I talked to a couple other people, and I really didn't know how to take it, initially. But as I kind of just thought about the magnitude and what he meant to me and what he meant to this country, that I needed to be be ready and to do my best to honor a man that that the world truly will miss. And I worked. This is in April, so he told me this in April, and obviously we're in September now, so I had some time to kind of prepare my thoughts and prepare my notes and talk about some of the things that I think solidified our relationship.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.